The chandelier lights flickered the moment my father's voice sliced through the quiet clatter of dessert spoons. "Eleanor, did you see the quarterly report on your inheritance account?" My spine locked. Inheritance account? I'd never heard those words in my life. Across the mahogany table, my stepmother Victoria let her wineglass slip, red blooming across the white cloth like blood. I forced my voice to stay level. I wasn't aware I had one. Grandfather Harlan didn't speak. He simply turned his tablet toward me. The screen showed a decade of statements, my full legal name, Eleanor Rose Whitlock, printed boldly on every page. Balance, staggering. Withdrawals, obscene. My stepmother's manicured fingers twitched. Harlan's eyes, cold and blue as winter steel, never left her face. "Let's see who rerouted the alerts, shall we?" One tap. The room shrank to the sound of my own pulse. A single line glowed on the screen, contact updated by Victoria M. Whitlock, 6 years ago. She laughed, too loud, too brittle. "That's absurd. Someone obviously—" "Stop," Harlan's voice cracked like a whip. He slid a leather portfolio across to me. Inside, new trust documents already executed that morning. My name alone. Her name erased. Another folder beneath it, criminal referral, signed forgery reports, bank fraud affidavits. I hadn't cried in years, but something hot clawed up my throat. All those Christmases she told me grandfather had cut us off because I wasn't his real blood. The second-hand coats, the empty fridge, the way she'd sigh about how I never appreciated her sacrifices while she came home with diamond earrings that cost more than rent. I was 15 when I started stocking shelves at midnight to pay for my own school trips. 16 when I learned to cook rice 7 different ways because it was cheap. She'd pat my head and say, "The world doesn't owe you anything, darling. Grow up." She grew up all right on my money. The real sting had come 4 months earlier. A thick envelope arrived on my 18th birthday, postmarked from Harlan's estate. Inside, a single line in his spidery handwriting, "Proud of how wisely you've managed the principal." I thought it was a mistake until the private banker I cold called refused to speak to me, saying all correspondence went to the email on file. An email I'd never created. That night I sat at the kitchen counter long after Victoria swept off to another charity gala, and I cracked her laptop password, my childhood dog's name, of course. Hundreds of read-then-deleted messages from the trust officer. Transfer requests initialed with my forged signature. Shopping sprees in Paris. A down payment on the beach house she told me was an investment for our future. I printed everything. Quietly. Patiently. Then I made one phone call. "Grandfather, I think someone's stealing from me." The silence on the line lasted 10 full seconds. When he finally spoke, his voice shook not with age, but with rage. "Dinner. Next Sunday. Bring nothing." Now here we were. Victoria's chair scraped backward. This is insane. She's lying, she's jealous. She's always been. The side door opened. 2 detectives in plain clothes stepped in, joined by Harlan's attorney, a woman whose smile could freeze lava. Victoria's mouth opened and closed like a fish drowning in air. I finally spoke, soft enough that she had to lean in to hear me. "You told me he'd written me out of the will because I was ungrateful. Remember? Every time I asked for lunch money, you said, 'Your grandfather thinks you're spoiled.'" Her eyes started, searching for rescue that wasn't coming. I leaned closer. "I believed you. I hated him for it. I hated myself." My voice cracked, but I didn't care anymore. "Do you know what hate tastes like when you're 14 and eating plain oatmeal for dinner while your stepmother brags about St. Barth?" One of the detectives began the Miranda warning. Victoria shrieked, actually shrieked, lunging toward me as if claws could undo years of lies. Harlan didn't move, but his security team did. She twisted in their grip, mascara rivers down her cheeks. "I did it for us. For the life you deserved." "No," I said, standing. "The life you wanted. Not mine. Never mine." The front door shut behind her with the finality of a vault. Red and blue lights painted the windows as the cruiser pulled away. Harlan poured 2 fingers of scotch and handed me one. His hand trembled, just slightly. "I should have seen her for what she was the day your father married her. I took the glass, but didn't drink. I don't blame you anymore. For the first time in my life, the air didn't taste like resentment. It tasted like oxygen. I walked to the window and watched the taillights disappear down the long driveway. Victoria used to tell me, life isn't fair, Eleanor. Stop whining and make do. She was right about one thing. Life isn't fair. But tonight, I stopped making do. Tonight, I took everything back.